Hey everybody! I just want to go over a quick problem that I've seen a couple clients have. This problem was happening with multiple different clients, different people, different external senders, etc. This is an interesting issue. They were basically trying to receive emails from a client, and usually the client was sending uh, a client of theirs was sending over something like a PDF or a Word document, something that's pretty innocuous, not very harmful. But when they received the email, it actually went to quarantine instead of their inbox. And if you look at the policy for why it was blocked and quarantined, it's the anti-malware policy blocked by file type. Now, this is normally if there's a harmful type of file, but if you have a Word document, for instance, you wouldn't really expect that to go into this into the quarantine due to this policy. So what I did is I went ahead and looked at the file a little bit further, or the message a little bit further, and I could see that the attachments had the original attachment. I went ahead and crossed this out, just personal information. But the attachment would always have this extra file that's ATT000 and then some number, usually 1 through kind of 8, just a low number. But whenever I saw that, it's very weird because the original sender was not sending this file, or not meaning to send this file actually. Just the file up here, usually like a Word document or a PDF. So I went ahead and explored this a little bit further. In Exchange Admin Center, you could take a look at the headers, and that's kind of where I ran into this issue. What I did is I just downloaded the entire email just so we can take a look at it. If you look at the header up here, you can see smtp client.apple, and I saw this in every single email that was sent to quarantine like this, and that's kind of where I started looking. This is the Apple default mail app that sends from here, and after researching this issue, I found that the default Apple client will actually put the attachments wherever someone puts it on the screen. So I'll show an example here. Connected to my MacBook, but I sent a test email to myself, and I have some text here, and then I put an attachment, which in this case is just a image. I think it's a PNG. So I just put it in the middle of the page here, and then I put some more text at the bottom there. So apparently Exchange does not like this. Exchange expects to have attachments at the end of a document. Um, and because of this, when it reads this email, it reads the text, which is fine, and then it reads the attachment, which is fine, but it expects the attachment to be the very last thing in the email. And so when it has this text down here, it doesn't know what to do with it, so it converts it over into an HTML file. And so then I guess that's a way for the Exchange server to be able to read this email. The problem is when it converts this to an HTML file, it gets picked up by the filter, and the anti-malware policy blocked by file type. HTML is one of the file types that is potentially malicious, and so it just goes straight into quarantine after that. So from the Exchange side, I don't think there's really a good way to solve this problem. So what I do is I either go onto the client's computer or get in communication with the external sender. It's not very often, but it's a setting in the default Apple Mail app that we go ahead and change, and that allows emails to basically not get flagged in Exchange, because the sender is having problems with anyone that has Exchange basically. So if you want to go ahead and open up the default Mail app like we have here, you'll go to Edit, Attachments, and then you want to go ahead and make sure that both of these are checked. So the first one is always send Windows friendly attachments. That's good. And the second one is always insert attachments at the end of the message. This is the most important one. So when you do that, that'll go ahead and put the attachment at the very end, and that will resolve any issues, and you shouldn't be seeing any more emails going into quarantine for that reason. And again, if you see something like this, the biggest hint that will throw you towards this being the resolution is if you look at the attachments and you see this weird ATT file, this HTML file, and then you just look at the header real quick and you can see the smtp client.apple, and that's just like a dead giveaway that that's what this issue is, and you can go ahead and resolve it by changing the setting in the default Apple Mail client. So I hope that was helpful, and if it was, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below, and I'll see you next time.